Round one NBL Supercoach team reveal. It is here and lots to focus on. In my starting team, what I'm looking to get is guys that I trust. Might not be the best for the exact 1 game schedule, but I think I'm looking at 2-3 weeks at a time, and then guys that if I did have to hold them longer term, I'd be really happy to do so. So I'm actually locking in. We'll lock in with our captain, and that's Bryce Cotton. And it's actually said he's got his thumb injury, subject to the fitness test. He'll be there. He said in commentary that he'll be there when the lights are on and the lights are brighter. So yeah, he's excited to get going, and I just think he's the best captaincy option. And looking at my squad there ahead to round 2, my starters, I've got Days, Jack White, and Oliver, and those 3 guys do have a double in round 2, which is great. And in my preparation, I looked at potentially having 1 to 2 guys from Adelaide, Cairns, these types of teams there that have the double in round 3, and then potentially 4 as well for a few of those teams. And Kendrick Davis is the guy that has that one, and he might not have the best schedule here across the first 2 games, but I'm going to want him in round 3 and 4. So an easy way to not waste trades on guys like that is just to start with him. And then the plan next week is I've got Cotton here. And to be able to afford Cotton and still have all these other guns on the side in Days, White, Oliver, and Davis, who are all over 200k, to have 448 there with Cotton, have him as the best captaincy option, is to bring in Kelly LePepe. So he's the cheap guy that I'm going to see how this week goes and potentially make my decision on that. So with Cotton, he's going to be a 1-week guy. I'll be looking to add some Melbourne United players, at least 1 next week, into my guard spot, and potentially add a second guard depending on how things work out with his side. I can move Henschel up into the forwards if I wanted to remove LePepe out of there, and Cotton and LePepe there with a bit over 500k. I can get 2 guys somewhere in the 200s if I wanted to, and just see what works out in round 1 and make that decision from there with those 2 trades. And if things don't work out, there's injuries or whatever to other 277k guys, I could just trade them out, straight swap them for another guy who fits that bill. And therefore Cotton probably stays in the side for round 2, and then I have him on the double in round 3 there. So yeah, and then you can muck around with Cotton from that scenario there. So I do think that Cotton, the best captaincy. I'm going pretty cheap on my bench with Ulbrich, with Zakarski, Hickey, Henschel, and obviously LePepe there. But I do want to try and score well in round 1, and then I have enough guys on the double next week in Ulbrich, LePepe. I have Hickey as well, along with Days, White, and Oliver on the double next week, and then whichever 2 trades I use can get guys that are going to play a double as well. So 8 out of my 10 players, likely 4 of the starters, unless Hickey's looking good or something like that, I can move him into start next week. But we're not just looking at the first 2 rounds in this scenario, we're looking at round 3 and onwards as well. Obviously round 3 and 4, which is what I was talking about, having that sort of 3 to 4 game mindset and look ahead to those rather than just looking at the week ahead or the 2 weeks ahead and making your decisions on that. And something I get caught in other Supercoach formats, general fantasy, all that kind of stuff, is to pick guys that could do well and they don't have some type of, not guarantee, but they're very likely to do well. And you can see that with the stats that the guys like Davis and Days, White, Oliver, and Cotton put up. We know what we're going to get out of Cotton. It's good to have that safe captaincy that has big upside as well. Davis, Oliver, Days, and White all have really nice upside and a really good base at that. So that's what we're looking at. We're not looking for any guys really with much downside, because the last thing we want is to get off on the slowly on the wrong foot and potentially lose some cash on certain guys. And we are taking a bit of a risk on some of the cheaper guys, but we know that if it does pay off, then it'll be great, because I'll make good cash from the cheap prices. And if it doesn't work out for one of them, or if they don't get the role that I was hoping for in round 1, which none of us know exactly what's going to happen in round 1, then I have that safety net of being able to go Cotton and one of these cheapies on the bench out in round 2, and can get 2 good scorers, or another cheapie that did well or something like that in round 2, which will work out well. And as I said, if things don't work out, if Davis and Days happen to get injured or the role's not there or whatever it is, then you could trade both those guys out instead and hold the other couple. And we know Cotton's going to be good in round 3 anyway. So that's where I'm at with the safety net, with the guys that I'm looking at personally. And game starts tonight, 8:30. This will be out sort of a few hours before game day, and I hope this helps you guys with your teams. There's a lot of different ways you can go about it. I really like Derek Walton Jr. I'd have him as my second captaincy pick, and then you can muck around with not starting with Davis and going for a Shea Illy, Dellavedova, Ian Clark, all these types of guys. I'm probably looking to buy one of them in round 2 for Cotton. I'm just not super excited about them in round 1 tonight. I think they can obviously do well. The Tassie are a bit decimated, but I'm just not sure which guy is going to come out and do well. We've seen last year anyway, one of the weeks they might get 16 or 17. The next week they get 25. The next one they get 12. And it's just a bit all over the shop. And some of the guys can be streaky. So I'm going to wait until round 2 and see what happens in 1 to make that decision. So there you go. Super simple, guys. That's the teams. I've created a couple of leagues there, which is fun. 2 head-to-head leagues with anyone who wants to join. And if you were interested in joining, put down in the comments as well. Those 2 are full right now, but I can make another quick one, or just ask me to be in one of your leagues or something like that. That'd be cool. So thanks for being here, guys. Hope that helped you guys, and we'll see you after tonight's game, which will be fun.